Hello, guys, and welcome. Justin, they've literally just done the FA Cup draw, and this is the list for the draw. There's some beautiful games in here. Quite a few that I know that I'll be looking forward to. Mainly, obviously, my team, Manchester United, against who I'll be watching in a minute. Derby West Ham. Obviously, Derby will be the easier one. Um, in my opinion, but obviously, I do have a feeling West Ham will beat Derby tonight. So I reckon, obviously, you never know. It's the FA Cup. You know what I mean? The FA Cup is notorious for upsets. Um, but I'm thinking West Ham, who obviously at the moment aren't in great form themselves. So, but no, obviously the first game, obviously Southampton, obviously they've obviously got through and they've got a what you should think could be an easy game against Luton or Grimsby. Obviously, Nathan Jones, Luton, obviously ex Luton manager. Um, I think that'd be a very interesting tie. That's definitely one of them that's going to be interesting because if Grimsby can beat Luton and then go to a Premier League side and knock a Premier League side out, that'd just be, I think, probably one of the upsets of the FA Cup so far. Again for Luton as well. Imagine going to your old manager's new team and beating him. So I think that's an exciting game. And then obviously you move on to Leicester, who will have either Blackburn or Birmingham. Obviously that's in a replay. Not gonna lie, I am fancying Blackburn to get through in the replay. Um, if I'm honest. And I do think they can beat Leicester. I do think Blackburn can cause an upset against Leicester. The form has dipped a little bit in the Championship recently, and Leicester's form is slightly picking up. But no, I think that will be a very interesting game. To be fair, looks like a very good fixture. Maybe another Championship going to another Premier League team, and who knows, doing the business and getting through to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. That'd be obviously amazing. Anyway, moving on to the next one, obviously Stoke and Brighton. Now, I think there's only one winner. If we go on form, I think it has to be Brighton. You look at Stoke and you think, all right, yeah, okay, they will make it a tough game at their ground. But I think just with the way Brighton are playing at the minute, obviously there's all that noise going off with Moises Caicedo or whether or not he'll be at Brighton for that game. But I think either way, this is another good game. Another game that, for me, stands out as a very interesting one to keep an eye on. Stoke could cause an upset, but if I'm thinking, I do think, yeah, that it might be a Brighton win. And then we move on to Wrexham or Sheffield against Spurs. Now, obviously, a fantastic game between Sheffield United and Wrexham, 3-3. At one point, Wrexham thought they'd done it until John Egan came up with a last-minute equaliser, which kind of, killed the buzz at Wrexham. I remember seeing Ryan Reynolds on TV, and he was so excited, and then obviously were destroyed when they got the equaliser. And I can't blame him. But if they can get past Sheffield United, they will have Tottenham Hotspur going to their ground. I mean, wow, you imagine the atmosphere at that ground if they manage to get past Sheffield United at Bramall Lane and then go on and beat Tottenham. I mean, that would be the biggest win in their history. Without a shadow of a doubt, that would be probably the biggest win in their history. Moving on next, we've got Fulham against Sunderland or Leeds. Again, it's one of them. This is probably one of them that you look at and you think this is probably going to be one of the more duller games. People expect Leeds to get past Sunderland in the replay. And again, if Leeds do get through, my favourite would be Fulham. I just think Fulham's form at the moment, I think Fulham would be favourite against any one of those sides that they come up against. But again, this FA Cup, and you absolutely never know. Now, next, Bristol City will host Manchester City. Now, I was sat there watching the draw, and there was like 6 teams. I felt like, do you know what? I've got a feeling Man U were going to get City. It didn't happen. Thank God. I didn't want to play Man City. You know, you obviously want an easy draw, especially if you are a team like Manchester United. You always want an easy draw. You know what I mean? I always say, oh yeah, it's better to knock out the big teams first. You don't. You always want an easy draw. I do anyway. But this will be an interesting one. And again, FA Cup. It's always full of shocks. Can Bristol City do everyone a favour that's in this competition and knock out City? I wouldn't say no. You can never predict anything with the FA Cup. I mean, everyone thought Sheffield United would walk all over Wrexham. That never happened. But that's another interesting tie right there. The next one is my team, Man United against Derby and West Ham. Now, I've just given my thoughts on it. Literally, they are 3 minutes into that replay. Well, not replay, sorry, it's not even a replay. I mean, they're 3 minutes into this game, which obviously could go to a replay. Yeah, so we could actually still end up having to wait to find out who my team will be facing. But I do fancy us. I do fancy us against who we come up against. I do expect West Ham to beat Derby tonight, and I do expect us to beat West Ham. Just going on current form, West Ham on, in the best form. If you compare them to what it's been like for the past couple of years, they've been nowhere near good enough. They look like a completely different side. But no, I think this is I think it'll be an intriguing game regardless, obviously at Old Trafford. So obviously be looking forward to that. And then the next one is Ipswich or Burnley against Sheff Wednesday or Fleetwood. Now, no, there's no exciting about this. I do think Ipswich can pull off a shock in their replay with Burnley. I honestly do. I can see Ipswich maybe getting past Burnley. Obviously, Burnley, most of their focus will be on the Championship because of where they are in the Championship. And Sheffield Wednesday against Fleetwood, again, I can see Fleetwood shocking Wednesday. Everyone expects Wednesday to go through because they're flying high in League One. But I can see Fleetwood maybe doing the job. And then I think if it comes down to either Ipswich or Fleetwood, again, I'd back Fleetwood. I would. To maybe beat Ipswich and go on to the next round. I think that would be exciting. I think that's something many people would love to see is, again, Fleetwood. You wouldn't expect them to beat any one of them 3 teams on there at the moment. But obviously they've got to replay against Wednesday. But no, I think it's a good draw. It's obviously worked out well for my team. In the fact that we've got Derby or West Ham. Obviously, I'm hoping to find out by the end of tonight with this game being on currently. So I do think it's a good draw. I mean, well, at the moment, Derby have made a very bright start, I can't lie. So, who knows? Anyway, I'd love to hear what you think in the comments down below. Is your team still in the FA Cup? If they are, who did you draw? Do you think you can beat the team you draw? Hopefully you do. Obviously, if you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, and obviously please subscribe. I am trying to upload videos more consistently, and obviously, the more you like and the more subscribes, the more I can get my channel out there, hopefully. Anyway, guys, I will see you soon.